Hope you guys mark your attendance. Not please do that. Right. Okay. How many of you are yet to participate in the group discussions? Thanks, Kalyan. How many of you are yet to participate in GD? Any? Please give me some kind of idea on that. Okay, Dinesh. How many members were in your team, Dinesh? Okay. Any other teams? Any other individuals who have not participated in GD yet? A couple of teams which had their GD yesterday. I have asked them to redo it. Any team from this group? Okay. There's one more team which had to redo it sometime. I'm just trying to find that out. Not from this group? Okay. Um, right. So what do we do today? Again, I'm leaving it to you. You may come up with a answer for this. Give me suggestions. We'll take it from there. Or you have any questions? Please ask. Okay, yesterday one question. Yeah, Dinesh. Well, I don't remember the question. Can you do that, please? Okay, okay. Aishwarya, she's here. Right. What was your question, Aishwarya? Morning, morning. Just give me a second. I'm not hearing you properly. Right. Yes. Can you repeat the question, please? No. Can you repeat the question, please? If they have a bad impression on me, okay. I will. Okay. This is during the interview or while working. What are you? Okay. During interview. Right. See. During an interview, they will have bad impression at some point. There is a possibility, and that's a reality. How do you come out of it? The interview itself is like 15 minutes to maximum of 20-25 minutes, right? How do you come out of a bad impression? Okay. I will have to understand what if they actually are having a bad impression. How do I know that? See, first thing first, we need to understand the reason behind it. Unless otherwise we can try and do that, it's going to be really hard. Most of the time, we will know because the way we speak or what we say puts them down, right? So that's where it starts. That's where the impression that we try to project goes wrong. Once we understand the real reason behind such an impression, that's something which we need to get right. If we do that, then we can play around that bit. How do we do that? Whatever we had said to put them down, whatever we have said to put our impression down, we can slowly correct it over the course of the next 10 minutes, 5 minutes. That is one option. Otherwise, if we exactly know this is exactly what has put them off, you can actually try and talk to them about it. I guess I told you something which didn't go down well. So I would like to talk about it. If you wish to question me on that, you can definitely ask that. But in terms of impression, so that is answering a wrong, answering a question wrong. Those things. Impression, correcting an impression is going to be a hard part. During an interview, it's very very difficult to change, because we don't have much time to do that. We can we can try and patch things up a little bit, but then in terms of correcting the whole thing, I don't believe that's going to happen during an interview. So that's exactly why the first 2 3 minutes are important. Okay, so but then yes, we can try, we can, but then to be honest, we are dealing with a maximum of 10 to 15 20 minutes. Changing someone's opinion about us within that frame of time is going to be really really challenging um, thing. So I agree, it's going to be very very hard. We can try, like I said, we can try. How do we do that? Understanding why they have a bad impression and then correcting it. That's the only way. But then, to be honest and to be practical, 15 minutes or 5 minutes, 10 minutes to change someone's opinion about us is going to be really hard. And that's the reason, I'm repeating it again. The initial 2 minutes is going to be really, really important. Try and impress them, and then they will oversee if there is any shortfalls. Okay, if you do any mistakes, they will oversee, because the first 2 minutes were good. So try and ensure the first 2 minutes are, absolutely, perfect for you. Thank you. Yes, yes. Yeah, correct. Hmm. Okay. Okay, that's exactly what I'm also for. If someone's talking about just the information, I will actually think through. I have the resume. Why this person is talking about the resume again? But as a fresher, try and give those information, a little bit of that, and then tell them what kind of skill sets and what are your strengths that you bring to the table, with an example from your past. So that's exactly what we discussed yesterday, I think. Um, so so that's how you go about it. You don't have to be only targeting your information about your school, your college. You don't have to do that. You can give the information, but at the same time, try and bring out some elements from your life. When, let's say, you're talking about your school life, right? So what are the positives that happened? What are the incidents that reflected your achievements? You can talk about that. Your achievements, in the sense, it need not be a great achievement that the whole community or the whole state recognized. It can be something as simple as submitting a project on time. Okay, so what did you do to submit the project on time? How much hurdles you faced? So that is an achievement for you. So you talk about that particular incident. Along with it, you say how much you had to plan and execute it, and how rigidly you followed that. And so that is something which is a positive. So something like that, your achievements, along with how you achieved it, in terms of the strengths, in terms of the skills that you possess then, and how you utilize that to achieve. So this is something which you can give them as an answer while you're talking about, tell me about yourself, right? So when you do that, it's not just the information, right? So as you said, you're already giving the resume. Along with it, you are also giving something which is not in the resume, which is the positives, the achievements. How do you take it from your life, and then sharing the that information to them. That's how you do it. Sure. Welcome. Anyone else? I think from Monday we will try and start the interviews for all of you. During the class hours, we'll still go ahead with 3 or 4 interviews, and after which we'll have to keep scheduling interviews and then get it over with. So it's going to be a busy week for me next week. So imagine 5 minutes with each of you. um, I have around 150 students overall. So let's hope I am able to give justice to those interviews. I hope that we can learn something out of it. But at the same time, you guys be prepared. Don't just come without any kind of preparation, because if you prepare and then you do some mistakes, the course correction will be easy. If you don't prepare, then there is no point doing these interviews. So try and have some kind of preparation going mentally, and then be ready for the interviews next week. Okay, so anything else you would like to ask? Yes. Clement, it is your weakness, Clement. You can definitely identify one or two weaknesses with, I mean, the real weakness in you. You don't have to worry about what you're saying. But the only problem here is when you talk about your weakness, there are two positives that comes along if you can answer correctly, right? One is you know what is the problem you have. Okay, so that is, yeah, short tempered is okay. But then how do you deal with it? How do you overcome it? In a professional situation, it is not professional to be short tempered, correct? So how do you deal with it? What is the technique that you use to overcome that? Okay, technique in the sense it need not be very technical. It can be a simple solution where you drink water, or you go out of the room. You try and calm yourselves by shutting your eyes. It could be anything. Okay, I need not teach you that. You have some techniques that you use, right? You can mention that. You tell them that I know my weakness. I know this is my weakness, and I'm working on it. It's not that I have come out of it entirely, but then I'm working on it. I have a couple of things I do when I realize that I am a little short tempered, and then I utilize those techniques to calm myself down, and then react to it later. So that way you avoid being short tempered. Even though that's your weakness, you're trying to overcome that. So that's how you should answer a weakness question. See it, if you, let's say, if you um, try and give them something which you are not. Okay, so it is for no benefit, because they will at some point note it down and then come back in the interview about that weakness that you mentioned, right? So they will not just leave, they'll ask for weakness, and it doesn't mean that once you answer they'll finish it off and then move on to the next subject, right? After a couple of questions they may again come back. Okay, Clement, you're talking about your weaknesses. You said you're short tempered. Now tell me, I'm giving a scenario at workplace. What happens then? So they will put you in a spot. Then they'll also say that they also may try and make you short tempered during a course of an interview, right? So you give a little smile for those questions and then try and answer. That helps. Right. And short tempered, don't think, Clement, only now people with short tempered nature is trying an interview, right? So we see people in corporate life short tempered all the time. Okay, so it's just one of your weaknesses, and you recognize that it is your weakness. You know that. The problem is, I don't recognize my problem. I don't know what my problem is. That is the real problem. Okay, so this is absolutely okay when you say that, but then come up with a concrete solution for it. Try and tell them that this is how I deal with my short tempered nature. and I have been successful with it. Maybe give an example how you handled it recently, something that happened recently. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions? Nothing. Okay. So Dinesh, right? Yeah. Um, just confirm a time for today or tomorrow. See, today I will be occupied after 4. I think there is a one GD already planned, and at 4:30 I have a session. So we may have to look at an alternate time. Come up with a schedule. N- okay. Can we have it by 3:30, Dinesh? 4 o'clock will be too short a time because 4:30 I have a session itself for BME students. So can we start by 3:30 so that I can finish it up? Okay. Thank you. Okay, if that's not good enough, we can do it after the session. My session gets over by 5:15, 5:30. Okay, so maybe after that also we can do it. Okay, all right. Any other teams that are pending? Any individuals who's not part of Dinesh's team, who's yet to get a GD session? Clement, can I do it tomorrow, Clement? I think Clement, our GD session is being pushed. I think from start of the week, right? Really sorry about it, Clement. Can we do it tomorrow in the afternoon? Okay, right. Okay, that's it. Any other teams apart from Dinesh and Clement's team? Anyone else pending? Any individuals pending? Okay, identify that. If anyone identifies anyone yet to participate in any GD, please inform me. This is open for everyone. Because I don't want anyone without a practice session. Okay, so please inform me. All right. If there is nothing else, we can leave. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thanks.